New York Jets fans. Hey man, we're here to fix your team, bring you back to the glory days. I'm Jerry Martinez,
I'm Clayton Hoffard.
and we're from the East West Football Network. So we're gonna go ahead and run this down. We're gonna go ahead and rebuild this team and get it back to the glory days. Hey Clayton, tell me what's going on with the Jets right now. What are you seeing? Oh,
Man,
oh, oh,
this is
oh, oh. First, before we get into that, what when I say the New York Jets, who does it remind you of?
Broadway Joe, man. That overflowing confidence, movie star.
Joe Namath, Broadway Joe, right? Man, and that's something very unique, right? And that's called an identity. And that I think that right away, wouldn't you agree with me? The New York Jets need to bring back that identity, that Broadway Joe identity.
Yeah, I think they've kind of shied away from it, and Rex Ryan did a good job of trying to bring a Smash Mouth style and identity to him, and I think that's the identity they've been trying to seek. But I think they need to embrace the New York culture, embrace the people, give them a
Yeah.
movie star to rally behind. Be movie stars, man. Go out there and take the field with pride. Be Jets, baby.
Yeah. Furthermore, right? So let's get right into it. What's going on with the Jets right now?
Well, man, since 2015, that was their last winning season where they went 10-6 under Todd Bowles. Since then, they're 21-46. That's not good.
At all.
They don't have winners in that locker room right now. They just like whenever they were playing the Broncos, they had the lead against the third string quarterback who was making his first NFL start. There's veterans on that Jets team that couldn't close it out. They've forgotten how to win. They need an absolute rehaul, and they need a fresh face in there to just breathe life into them, because right now Adam Gase and Greg Williams are not giving them the confidence that they are good football players, and there are some studs on that team, and they're not being utilized in the way they should. So the first things first is we've got to find out who to get in there.
Yeah, for sure. I think right now they have Joe Douglas. That's the current GM. So right now, Joe Douglas, I think, I mean, if you want to agree with me, that's fine. But I think he had a great draft class last year. I think that when you stop and you look at it, right, he had it Makai Becton. It looks like, I mean, that's their franchise left tackle for the next 10 years, right? Uh,
Absolutely.
and then Denzel Mims. I know that he hasn't really been able to get on the field as much as what we'd like to see, but I mean, you're talking about he has intangibles. I think that he has all the right intangibles to be a superstar caliber wide receiver. And then they
Mm-hmm.
were actually very smart, and they actually drafted a safety, right? They actually drafted that safety out of Cal, because I mean they actually lost their last star that they had on on that team, right? In Jamal Adams.
Absolutely.
So
Absolutely.
overall, I think they have the right GM in place. And something about Joe Douglas that people may know or may not know, right? He last was with the Philadelphia Eagles, and the Philadelphia Eagles, their GM is Howie Roseman. Man, he loves them quarterbacks as draft capital. I mean, he likes to
Mm-hmm.
draft them and trade them, and I mean, he says it's one of the biggest draft capitals out there, right? So he's coming from a background of 1 year with Howie Roseman, but he actually served about 15 years with the Baltimore Ravens under Ozzie Newsome, right? So when you look at it, Joe Douglas understands team building, right? So let me ask you right
Mm-hmm.
now, currently where the Jets are right now, they're projected to pick number one, but let's say they do end up with that first round draft pick. Is Adam Gase and Greg Williams going to stay?
They can't. They've been given the keys to the car and they crashed it. Okay, they haven't done anything worth showing that hey, we could build this franchise forward. In fact, we're actually seeing players regress, and we're seeing guys regress when we did see prior to them positive strides by the franchise. I thought Todd Bowles had the franchise moving in the right direction. They've got some big name guys that come in, but it seems like every report you read, they don't want to play for these guys. Well, why is that? You can't be having that from your leaders on the football team.
Yeah, man, for sure. I think so let me ask you, what would be a good combination? Let's say they bring in who would you bring in as the new coach? And let's say you had the first pick, what are you doing?
Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do if I'm the general manager and I'm looking to just build this thing from the ground up, Jerry, is I am going to look at Sam Darnold. I'm going to sit him down. I'm going to say, look, son, you were dealt a bad hand in poker and you played it the best you could, but you didn't win. Okay. We're going to move you to whoever the best suitor is. I think somebody like the Pittsburgh Steelers could be that team to trade
Wow.
a first round pick for Sam Darnold.
Wow.
Okay. Big Ben's aging. He can mentor the kid, maybe get his career back on track. And we know that the Steelers are willing to move with those picks because they acknowledge how that works and how to recoup and trade, and they're very good at building in the later rounds of the draft. Okay, so back to the Jets. So I traded my franchise quarterback away in Sam Darnold.
Yeah.
Well, lucky for me, we've got a pretty good one sitting there first overall in Trevor Lawrence, right?
Yeah.
Now, put a pin in that thought. We just talked about Broadway Joe. I don't think anybody's going to bring the swagger that Trevor Lawrence has. He's going to be starring in Head and Shoulders commercials for his long, flowing, gorgeous hair that he's got going.
Yeah.
He is going in movies and commercials left and right. He
Yeah.
is going to bring an excitement and energy into that stadium we haven't seen
Yeah,
in
yeah, yeah.
years.
For sure.
Okay. Well, now we've got to find two coaches to pair with him before we go any further. I think you set a blank check on the table for Eric Bieniemy,
Oh,
the offensive coordinator for the Kansas City Chiefs. And because we know that he can work with Mahomes, he knows how to handle that star power. He knows how to be creative by being with Andy Reid. He knows how to get the most out of unknown guys. I mean, he's making Byron Pringle and backup tight ends, DeAnthony Thomas. All those guys have scored touchdowns under Eric Bieniemy, and he knows how to get the most out of that talent. So as they build the talent in that room up, I think Bieniemy will scheme around Lawrence and build that up. But he's a first-year head coach. So let's go get an old vet like Wade Phillips to coach this defense up and show him the ropes while he's learning how to be a head coach, how to be a leader. And Wade Phillips can get that mean streak, maybe use some of his blitzages that he's so well known for to get the most out of that less than talented at the moment Jets defense and really get them back on the winning track. And I think those guys right there build a solid foundation in order to just to give them winning football games, get some belief back in that building, get the fans uplifted like, hey, we can do this. We're back on the mat, baby.
man, you know what? I like that. I actually like that pairing right there. I think that Bieniemy, like you said, I mean, having Patrick Mahomes and just everything. I mean, everything you said. I think that he understands how to scheme up his personnel, right? But I'm gonna go with the same pick, right? Give me the same scenario, right? So I'm gonna go with the same pick. If the Jets are picking first, you bring in you bring in Trevor Lawrence, like you said. I mean, this guy has Broadway Joe written all over him. I mean, he just brings this cult following. Like, so I think that the city of New York would be just perfect for his personality. But I'm gonna go ahead and tie him up with Greg Roman. I will seriously consider Eric Bieniemy, but give me Greg Roman. I think what Greg Roman, his offense, what he's been able to do with Lamar Jackson. Yeah, I'm not saying that Trevor Lawrence is a Lamar Jackson, but if you look at Sean McVay's actually adapted that same concept, that same offensive scheme concept. So why not bring in that mastermind, right? Greg Roman, make him your head coach. From there, I'm pretty sure he'd like to bring somebody from the Ravens staff. The thing is that at this point on the defense, I know that there are a 3-4 defense, and I believe they're still in transition. So whether you choose to stay with a 3-4 or a 4-3, I think that they have the center of the line done right now. The one thing they should seek about doing is getting a true edge rusher. I think that's the other need that the Jets need, right, to make that defense all rounded. But overall, I say bring in, like I said, give me Trevor Lawrence and give me Greg Roman, and now we have a totally different makeup. Like you said, I'd probably keep Sam Darnold around. I probably would keep Sam Darnold around and see who would come and give me the highest bid for him. I think that what you brought up earlier with the Steelers, that's brilliant. I think that would be a brilliant pick for the Steelers as well. I mean, Sam Darnold, unfortunately, he needs just a different, a second win, right? Or a different
Absolutely.
yeah, he needs a fresh start, right? That's what he needs. So I think that with this new remake, I think that for sure, um, you're back in the championship, you're back in the glory days, and wow, what a time to be a Jets fan.
Oh yeah, baby. I mean, not only that, once you lay the foundation down and you bring in some new blood, some new life, you get some excitement created around the franchise. We can't sleep on the fact that the Jets are going to have the third most cap space in the entire NFL next year.
Yeah,
They're
yeah,
going to have $72 million to sling around. They're going to
yeah,
be writing blank checks left and right to guys. You don't think they're going to get some guys saying, I wonder what they got something cooking. It's something exciting going on.
yeah,
They've
for
got more
sure.
needs than just quarterback, right?
Yeah, for sure.
They could go address some of those needs. What do you think some of those needs are, though, Jerry?
Oh man, give me an edge rusher. I mean, right now you're still in the 3-4. I think but the pre comes to mind right away. I think that we had gone through a list, right? Because I'm not saying that Pittsburgh doesn't want him. It's just Pittsburgh has some. They have T.J. Watt to pay, and then
Right.
you still have the contract of that big contract that Ben has. So I mean, right now I'm pretty sure Bud Dupree would be the odd man out. So give me Bud Dupree in this situation. Hey man, he can play defensive end, or he can play that 3-4 outside linebacker, right? That one that can get pressure, can get you the sacks that you need. Now we're looking at a total different defensive situation. So you'd probably have to they would probably have to address the cornerback in the draft, because I think the draft class is kind of dry as far as the free agent draft class. So other than that, I mean, it's a new team, it's a new beginning. You got your edge rusher, your left tackle, your quarterback. Wow, everything else is ready to go. So let me ask everybody. Well, first off, we want to say thank you for tuning in, right? But who do you how would you say, what would be the best scenario? What scenario would you say would be great for the Jets if they have the number one pick? What are you doing as a Jets fan? Tell us your remake. As always, we want to say make sure to hit that subscribe button and hit that like button, and turn on all notifications, because we plan to give you more videos like this. Thank you so much.